What if the answers to how long you truly live are already happening inside your body, right now, and you just haven't learned how to read them yet? Most of us assume that aging is something that just happens to us, something we wake up one day and suddenly notice. But researchers at the University of California, Berkeley, have found something that completely changes that assumption. There are 7 quiet, everyday signals your body sends out, signals that health scientists now use to estimate not just how healthy you are, but how long you are likely to stay that way. And none of them require a lab, none of them require a prescription. They're things you can test yourself right where you are, right now. But before we get into all 7, I need you to pause for just a second. If this kind of content helps you think differently about your health, hit that subscribe button. I'm here every week breaking down the science behind living longer, and I don't want you to miss a single one. Okay, let's get into it. The first sign is something researchers call functional sit-to-stand ability, and it sounds incredibly simple. Stand up from a chair. That's it. But here's the rule. No hands, no armrest, no pushing off the edge of the table, just your legs, your core, and your balance working together. A study published in the European Journal of Preventative Cardiology followed over 2,000 adults and found that those who could perform this movement cleanly had a significantly lower risk of early mortality. Think about what that one movement actually requires: leg strength, core stability, coordination between your muscles and your nervous system, all of it in one motion. Now imagine a man named Gerald, 69 years old, former accountant. One Sunday, his granddaughter asked him to get down on the floor to play a board game. He tried, his knees buckled, he needed the couch to pull himself back up. It wasn't a dramatic fall, it was just a moment, but it stuck with him. Gerald started doing something small every single morning. He'd sit on a kitchen chair and stand up, 10 times, no hands. The first few days he cheated, he tilted forward, used momentum. But over the following weeks he adjusted, he slowed down, he focused on his legs doing the work. 2 months later, he could do all 10 cleanly. And the difference wasn't just physical. He stopped hesitating before he sat down in public. He stopped calculating whether he could get back up. That confidence, that's what this sign is really about. The second sign is your walking pace, and I want you to think about this one carefully because it might be the most underestimated predictor of health that exists. A landmark study out of the University of Pittsburgh found that walking speed alone could predict survival in adults over 65 with an accuracy that rivaled complex medical testing. Not blood panels, not imaging, just how fast you move from one place to another. Why does pace matter so much? Because walking isn't just a leg activity, it's a full body coordination event. Your heart has to pump efficiently, your lungs have to deliver oxygen, your brain has to send signals to dozens of muscle groups simultaneously. When that system starts breaking down, your pace slows. It's one of the first things to go. A woman named Claire noticed this not all at once, but in small, accumulating moments. She'd be at the grocery store and realize she was always the last one to the checkout. She'd cross a parking lot and feel like everyone else was moving through water while she was moving through mud. Claire didn't start running, she didn't join a gym, she simply started walking with intention every morning around her neighborhood. At first, she focused on just getting out the door. Then she focused on pace, keeping her steps steady, her posture upright. Over 3 months, her speed improved measurably, and with it came something she hadn't expected, a quiet return of energy that she'd written off years ago. Now, if you're finding this useful, I want you to do something for me right now. Leave a comment below and tell me which of these signs are you most curious about. I read every single one. Okay, let's keep going. The third sign is grip strength. Make a fist right now. Squeeze as hard as you can. How does that feel? Research published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity has shown that grip strength is one of the strongest predictors of overall muscle mass, cardiovascular health, and even cognitive function in older adults. It's not about how hard you can shake someone's hand, it's about what your grip reveals underneath. When grip declines, it often means muscle tissue throughout the body is quietly deteriorating. A man named Thomas noticed it first when he was trying to open a jar of pasta sauce. He had to run it under hot water first. Then he noticed it carrying firewood, then again holding onto a railing on a steep staircase. It wasn't dramatic, it was gradual. Thomas started small. He bought a simple hand grip tool, the kind you squeeze repeatedly. He'd use it while watching the news, 10 minutes a night. Within 6 weeks, the difference was noticeable, not just in his hands, in his shoulders, in the way he lifted groceries. Grip strength responds to training faster than almost any other marker of physical health, and that's the encouraging part. The fourth sign goes beyond the physical entirely. It's emotional resilience. And scientists are increasingly clear that this is not a soft concept, it is a biological one. A study from the University of Chicago found that chronic loneliness and social isolation trigger inflammation pathways in the body that are comparable to smoking in their long-term health effects. Your emotional state doesn't just affect how you feel, it affects how your cells behave. A woman named Dorothy lost her husband 2 years ago. In the months that followed, she didn't just grieve, she contracted. She stopped calling her sister, she declined invitations, she ate less, moved less. The world got smaller. It was her neighbor, a woman named Ruth, who nudged her back. Ruth didn't offer advice, she just showed up, invited Dorothy to help sort donated clothes at a community center every Thursday. Dorothy went once out of politeness, then she went again. Then it became the part of her week she looked forward to. 6 months later, when Dorothy saw her doctor, her blood pressure had come down, her sleep had improved. The doctor noticed. Dorothy smiled and said something simple, "I have somewhere to be now." That sense of purpose, of being connected, is not a luxury. For your body, it is medicine. The fifth sign is your balance, and this one, according to a study from the British Journal of Sports Medicine, may be the single strongest physical predictor of how long you will live. Stand on one foot right now. How long can you hold it? 10 seconds? 20? If you can hold steady for even a few seconds, your nervous system, your inner ear, your muscles, and your brain are all still communicating effectively. If you wobble immediately, it may signal that coordination is declining faster than you realize. A man named Eugene noticed his balance slipping in the smallest ways. He'd start reaching for walls when he walked down hallways. He'd grip the counter at the kitchen sink without thinking. One afternoon, he reached for a glass on a high shelf and felt his body sway just slightly, but it frightened him. Eugene began practicing the next morning. He stood near the kitchen counter, lifted one foot and held it. 3 seconds, that was his limit at first. He did it every day, sometimes twice. By the end of the first month, he was holding for 15 seconds. By the second month, 20. He didn't need a program, he didn't need a trainer, he just needed to pay attention to something his body had been quietly asking him to fix.
Sign number 6 is sleep, and not just the quantity of it, but the quality. Research from the National Sleep Foundation has shown that adults over 70 who maintain consistent restorative sleep have measurably lower rates of cognitive decline, heart disease, and immune dysfunction. Sleep is when your brain clears out toxic waste, when your muscles repair, when your immune system rebuilds itself. When that process breaks down, everything else starts to follow. Think about 2 women, both 74. One of them goes to bed at roughly the same time each night. She sleeps 7 hours, she wakes up without an alarm, feeling like her mind is clear. The other one lies awake for hours. She wakes at 3 in the morning and can't fall back asleep. By midday, she's exhausted. Over time, the gap between them widens, not because of luck, because sleep is an active process, and when it's disrupted, the body keeps a running tab. A woman named Patricia had struggled with sleep for years. She blamed stress, she blamed aging, she blamed everything except her own routine. Then, on a whim, she made 3 changes. She stopped looking at her phone an hour before bed. She started walking outside every morning just 20 minutes in natural light to reset her internal clock, and she moved her dinner an hour earlier. 2 weeks later, she was sleeping through the night for the first time in over a year. It wasn't a miracle, it was alignment. Her body already knew how to sleep. She just had to stop fighting it. And the 7th and final sign is your appetite and nutritional health. This one catches a lot of people off guard because a declining appetite after 70 often feels normal. It feels like your body just needs less. But research from the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging has found that decreased appetite in older adults frequently signals that the body is struggling to absorb nutrients properly. And when that happens, muscle starts to break down, immunity weakens, and energy disappears. A man named Franklin noticed it quietly. Meals he used to enjoy started feeling like obligations. He'd eat half a plate and feel full. He lost weight without trying. His clothes fit differently. His daughter finally said something. She encouraged him to see his doctor, and the visit revealed a simple vitamin D deficiency that had been affecting his appetite and his energy for months. A supplement and a few dietary adjustments changed everything within weeks. Franklin's appetite returned, his energy came back, he started cooking again, something he hadn't done in over a year. If you've noticed your appetite shrinking, if food has lost its appeal, if you're losing weight without a reason, that is your body asking for attention. Don't brush it off. Listen. So there you have it, 7 signs: sit to stand ability, walking pace, grip strength, emotional resilience, balance, sleep quality, and appetite. None of these are fixed. Every single one can be improved, often with changes so small they fit into the life you already have. Gerald learned to stand on his own again. Claire got her energy back. Thomas rebuilt his grip. Dorothy found her purpose. Eugene restored his balance. Patricia finally slept. Franklin started eating again. These aren't extraordinary stories. They're ordinary people who paid attention to what their bodies were already telling them and then acted on it. That's the real secret to aging well. It was never about doing more. It was about listening more. If this video changed the way you think about your own health, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Like, subscribe, and leave me a comment below. Which of these 7 signs hit closest to home for you? I'll see you in the next one.